Today, from Los Angeles, California, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So out come the Rams down for their first possession. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They'll run on first down. It's Stanley, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return will stop right around the 25. So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses who have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there, taking it in, and the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And, look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last week. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
Game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should... keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action now. Haskins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Play action. Haskins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now. And, Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 46 yards rushing for him. Now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And some room to work. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. A try here for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. So with the 3 interceptions, how does he erase those from his mind and just focus on this drive?
I think he may need some help from the coaching staff. Maybe the offensive coordinator says, okay, let's do a few of the shorter throws, quick rhythm throws where the ball's out of his hand quickly into a receiver before the defense can react. Maybe not take so many shots downfield just in case. Get your confidence back up, and then later on, you expand the targets again.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
I love it. I love it.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 1st down, Stanley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now Haskins to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Bird. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. Able to slither by. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets Gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big play there for the Dolphins.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the Rams punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. LA set to take over again on offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Second and 10. Here's Haskins again. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Rams on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Haskins. He finds his man complete. That's Bird. And he is going to have a Rams first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now it's Haskins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Haskins will throw. He finds his man complete. That's Stanley. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Miami. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll try again, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah. So he's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain that time, but it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Looking to throw, Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Taking it about the 36. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Throwing, Cook. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He's under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Oh, nice move. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the stoppage will come with 20. Seconds to go till halftime. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports halftime report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. The Colts trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And you can see they lead the visiting Arizona Cardinals at halftime. The Niners looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. Jameis Oluwole, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Hands it off out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 111 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Let's go. 79. What's the ball? What's the ball? Take 4. Take 4. Kill.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
They're not ready for this, man. Rocco leading. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Check. Lucky.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Come on. You got to be smarter than that, man. Come on.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Here I come again. Tight dog.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some nice running, going to get him down close to a 1st down. The Rams 21.
Tackle made at the 21-yard line.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And this is the kind of day a running back dreams of. They keep handing him the ball, and he keeps taking it in for touchdowns.
Point after try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stanley, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Fielded at about the 28. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
54 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
They'll run on 1st down. Turner, and inside the 20 before he's brought down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's to the 10 and down to the 7-yard line.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. 5 plays there on that drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. The Rams ready to go on offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Haskins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bird. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Shift. Watch the shift. Switch.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. Shedding the tackle. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. 22 yards.
And the Dolphins look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And Carter deciding not to bring this one out.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
Now Haskins on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Yates. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays hard.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Rams on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 19. His hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the Rams punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Coming to you. Hey, check 24. What's 24?
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's gonna get this inside the 30.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinal. All day, dog. Mike's 49. Mike's 49. Crunch time, defense.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Now's the time. Don't give him nothing.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
49. 49's Mike. 49's the Mike. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take it.
They run the counter. It's Turner, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Here's Haskins. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Haskins. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. Dolphins offense returning to the field.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Yo, 49 the mic, 49 the mic. I can't believe they let you play.
They run the counter. It's Turner. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Pick it up. 25, check 25, check 25. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 31, check 31, check 52.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Line's 49. Watch the run, watch the run. 49's the mic, watch 49. Watch the blood, watch the blood.
On 1st down, Turner. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
49.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Nine-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Coming this way, here we go. 49's the mic, watch 49. Let's set a tone.
They run the counter. Turner. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Rams getting set to go now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. A throw to the flat for Carter. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Point after, right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because
Haskins hit and he lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through, and that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. L.A. readies for its next possession. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long. Haskins from his own end zone. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And taken at the 46. 21 yards. Well done on the return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory
as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for L.A., this loss will mean they finish the season on the wrong side of 500 at 8-9. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.